I kind of realized last week, I was talking to my brother, and he said, what are good movies you'd recommend because we're all stuck at home right now? And I realized when you're kind of a cinephile person and you're into movies, you just sort of recommend 5 movies and you sort of don't care what streaming service they're from. And most people don't actually like that. They want you to go, what is on Netflix that I can watch? What is on this streaming service? So I kind of realized that cinephiles do this thing. They're just like, here's 5 movies. I don't know, because we're just used to like hunting and finding them, and we like the hunt and the chase and so forth. Most people don't want to do that, and I get that. So I kind of realized I should change how I recommend movies, because I should sort of understand how people are consuming movies better. And so what I'm going to do is every movie crap, I'm going to pick a streaming service and pick movies on that streaming service that I think are good movies, some good shows as well, and recommend those. And then when I go back to them next month, I'm not allowed to pick the same movies. So some of these might not still be available next month, some of them might be. I'm not going to look up all that, and I'm sure Netflix won't even tell you half the time. So I think what'll be cool is just doing this. I think it'll be a cool little project. I probably picked too many this time. I think I might keep it at 5 to 10 for next time. I think next time I might do Amazon Prime. But this is Netflix, and these are movies that are currently, as of me streaming this, available on Netflix. And I just went around and looked at and found interesting stuff. This one, there's like probably too many. I probably shouldn't have shot my wad on this, but we're doing it. So here are movies that I think are good movies to watch on Netflix. The first one is Once Upon a Time in the West. It's one of the greatest films ever made. It's one of the greatest westerns ever made. It's not part of the Dollars trilogy, but it was made right after. It's more of the Hollywood kind of bigger budget thing after that. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is also available on Netflix. But I'm going to recommend this one, Once Upon a Time in the West. If you've never seen it, it has amazing music. It's an overall great movie. Henry Fonda, Charles Bronson, Sergio Leone. I think Dario Argento worked on it. Bertolucci, like a crazy amount of people worked on this film that are great, and it's an amazing movie. It has a great opening sequence. If you are not struck by this opening sequence, you probably don't know movies, but you also will definitely get into it. So that's one of the best films ever made. Next up, I wanted to another film. They have a lot of great Orson Welles things. They only have, they have like 2 Orson Welles movies on here. But one that I think is a good entry point that's not so like, because when you talk about Magnificent Amberson, you're talking about Citizen Kane, you're talking about like these huge, massive, big deal movies. And that's fine. Those are great. Obviously, they're great movies. But one that is more kind of a little more palpable, a little more digestible is The Stranger. It is his only actual hit, believe it or not, that did well at the box office. It's kind of like a simple kind of like spy kind of thriller type thing, but it's good. I've always liked it. And if you've ever sort of just wanted to get into Orson Welles and just have something you could just watch and like and not feel like have all these like, is it the best movie of all time nonsense, that's a great one to do, and no one's going to have a debate with you about it. And you can just go, hey, I saw The Stranger. As well as they have The Other Side of the Wind and the documentary about that film that was shot in the 70s and didn't come out till like last year. They'll Love Me When I'm Dead. That film, I would recommend the documentary. I think unless you know 70s film, I wouldn't watch The Other Side of the Wind. But if you are, I would say do that. Another film. So one documentary that it was on my top 10 last year, 2018, which came out called Shirkers. This is a great documentary about lost media. It's about a woman who shot a film with this guy, an entire film, and it was going to be kind of this cooler movie about like kind of these grifters who were like stealing from people and stuff. I forget the whole plot of the film, but basically the film never got edited and never got made, and then she kind of forgot about it, went through life and tried to like find the film again, and it kind of goes through the whole drama with the film and like the footage she could get back, and there's no sound of it, so you get clips of the movie and like this whole, and if you're into lost media and things of that nature, this is a great documentary. I really liked it for a while, and you should definitely check it out. Another one, High Flying Bird, is a kind of basketball drama. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh. If you're not into basketball, you can still enjoy this. It was actually all shot on an iPhone. This made my top 10 of 2019, and it's actually a really cool movie. It kind of gets into new media, old media sort of stuff. It actually made me think about a lot of old media, new media stuff after watching it. It really and it's written by the guy who wrote Moonlight, directed by Steven Soderbergh. It shows you that it's not so much the kind of camera you have, it's how well you are at framing, which he is excellent at in this movie. And it's very dry, and if you're not into the sports world, I'm not into the sports world, but I still really liked it, and it's kind of more of a fascinating film. But I would check that out. The other, another one, TV show actually, Kim's Convenience, is a really great, a kind of family kind of sitcom. I really like it. It's Canadian. It's really wonderful. It's about about an Asian family who runs a convenience store in Toronto. I think it's Toronto. And kind of their kind of family dramas with that. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. I think it is really cool. I think I'll just do a couple more because I feel like maybe this is getting boring, but I'll just rattle off some. The Wicker Man, the original Wicker Man, is on Netflix. Check that out. I know everyone makes fun of the Nick Cage one, but it was an actual really great movie. You should see that. As well as The Dirty Dozen. I reviewed it back when Suicide Squad and Rogue One were all big and coming out and things like that. And there's a lot of kind of group movies, and they're kind of using The Dirty Dozen. It's a great World War II action film. If you really like that sort of thing, or like team sort of movies, it has what's his name? Anyway. Oh man. Anyway, it has a lot of great performances from Jim Brown, Telly Savalas, what's his name? John Cassavetes does a great performance. Lee Marvin. Check. Dirty Dozen is an awesome movie. One show we've been watching, Sophie and I have been watching actually, is Mystery Incorporated, the Scooby-Doo show. It's more of an older kid Scooby-Doo show. It's not inappropriate, but she likes it and I like it. Mystery Incorporated is genuinely great. The Castle of Cagliostro, which I know I pronounced wrong, Hayao Miyazaki's first movie. If you've never been into Lupin, it's a great entry point because it's just a great action-adventure animated film. It's one of the best action-adventure films I can think of, as well as The Adventures of Tintin is on here. Sam Raimi's Evil Dead is on there. And Into the Spider-Verse, which is one of the best animated films of recent memory, probably the best superhero movie, and definitely the best Spider-Man movie. And if you're really into the Joker, you've never seen Taxi Driver, and you need something to do, see Taxi Driver over Joker. It is amazing. And I think that's it. Did I say Adventures of Tintin's on there? Also, We Bare Bears is on Netflix as well. I know it's on Hulu and on other streaming services in other better forms, but yeah. I hope was that good? I don't know. Anyway, so those are my recommendations for Netflix. Those are cool movies to watch that you can check out now. I will try to go back on Netflix and see other things to watch. If I didn't mention something, it's because I'm saving it for next week, but that seems like a good list of movies to check out. So if you haven't seen any of those, you can. When this is a segment video later, the list will be in the description of this video first, as well as reviews of any of those movies that I have done will be there as well. So if you want to check out what I thought of them at the time or whenever, you can. Alright, cool. Tintin is underrated. Alright,